Blessings, blessings. How is everyone? How was everyone's day? Sorry I'm late. Don't forget to name your business and your contact so people know how to reach you. Blessings, Sister Tori, so people know how to reach you if they want your product. Blessings, blessings, blessings. I told you guys working this new job is doing its thing. It Hey daughter, how are you? How you doing? I am trying to get here to be with you guys. Thanks for always chiming in. I appreciate you so much. Um, that's pretty much I was gonna have to be probably on Wednesdays from now on, just 9:30. That way I'm not rushing and bustling. I get off work at like 9:15. As long as traffic is working with me, I can get here in 5 minutes. But today my register wanted to freeze. So tonight we're not going to be on here much longer. Just came on tonight to be consistent. Tonight we were supposed to be talking about addicted to the pain with Apostle Wyatt, and um, fortunate for her, unfortunate for us, because she couldn't be here tonight. But her husband won VIP tickets to the John P. Key concert tonight. And so, of course, that's where her and her hubby are at the John P. Key concert. So um, she won't be able to talk to us about being addicted to pain tonight. And I don't want to start her conversation. Hey, T, I don't want to start her conversation because she wouldn't do that to me. Tanasia, you on both pages? Seriously? Um, And so I wanted to just check in with you guys. Last week we were talking about a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I'm not complaining. I'm grateful because it lets me know that you guys really think a lot about what we have to say, or feel like what we're saying has some substance to it. So I appreciate you. I think we were supposed to talk about, hey, JB, one thing last week, and I ended up talking about embracing family and embracing love and forgiveness. And I was really looking forward to our topic tonight, addicted to the pain. Because, oh my gosh, like there's just so many of us that truly can say that. If we were going to be honest, a lot of people don't like to be honest. So if we're going to be honest, sometime at some point we found out that we were addicted to the pain. Does it mean that somebody was physically hitting you? No, but they could have been verbally abusing you. They could have been emotionally abusing you, spiritually abusing you, mishandling you, talking down to you, making light of you. And so all of those things tend to happen when you consider being addicted to the pain. You have a topic, uh, daughter? Okay. You have a topic for tonight, or you have a topic you want addressed? I know I sound rushed, and that's because I am. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to be late. But from last week to now, boy, the test that I've endured, having talked about the things that we talked about on last week, and I'm not complaining. I'm just grateful that God found me worthy to go through it. It took me some years to get to the point where I could appreciate 1 Thessalonians 5:18, that in everything we ought to give God thanks, for this is the will of God concerning us in Christ Jesus. And so I just didn't find a reason to celebrate the things that were going wrong. And so I, you know, grew up at a place where, like Job, if things were going wrong in your life, you must have sinned. You must have did something wrong. That's the way you were treated when I was coming up back in my younger days, in my pre-teen to teenage years. You must have sinned. You must have disobeyed God, because why else would you be going through it? Why else would you be losing this? Why else would you be losing that? And I came to find out that as I further read the scriptures, there is a time that we're supposed to just be thankful, whether it be good or bad. That's why he said in everything. He didn't give us an opportunity to leave anything out. He said in everything. That means no matter what you're going through, whether it be for the good or the bad, you have to find a way to give thanks in it. If we only had the positive things in our lives to go on, then there would be no need for us to seek God. If everything in our life was just good, why would we have to seek God? Why would we need to turn to him? Have you ever considered that? Maybe that's the reason why the one thing you've been trying to get out of so long, you can't, because it's the one thing that keeps you in God's presence. We really do have to learn how to give God thanks in everything. I used Job right away because, he had three best friends, not one, not two, but three best friends. And immediately they just thought he must have sinned, because why would a God that he served and loved let him go through so much? And Job, in everything that he endured, still found a way to give God praise, still found a way to give God worship. He cursed the day that he was born, but he never cursed God. He never went against God. He always found a reason he had to worship him. You want to talk about how do you forgive God? How do you forgive God for your past hurt? How do you forgive God? First of all, we can talk about it, but you have to consider who you're saying you need to forgive, because I thank God for what I went through, because if I hadn't gone through it, it wouldn't have made me the person that I am today. I'm sure it is part of the reason why he had 1 Thessalonians 5:18 pinned by his inspiration, because we had to understand that not everything is good. If you consider the fact that you gave your life over to Christ, consider what Christ did. He died. Why did he die? For our sins. What did he have to go through to do that? He had to be lied on. He had to be scrutinized. He had to be scandalized. He had to be beaten. He had to be bruised. He had to be spat upon. He had to be forsaken. There's so many things that he had to be. And it was a lot of hurt. We still haven't touched on in our everyday life what Christ went through. And he forgave. He asked his Father to forgive. And so we have to find a way to, and I'm going to leave that question open when we do talk about it, so that you can have other people's points of views, but we have to consider the source. He created us, so he really owes us nothing. He created us to worship him, so we have to find out why it is that we can't seem to worship him the way that we're supposed to. We were created specifically to worship him, and most of us don't do that on a regular basis. We should be able to find Christ in everything that we do, in everything that we say, and every way that we act, and render unto others. There ought to be some representation of what will Christ be like when they see you doing it, when they see you say it, when they see you act it out, when they see you in different places. And so God created us to worship him, to tell him how good he is, how kind he is, how merciful he is. And let's consider the fact that it took some time for us to get to that point. We didn't come out our mother's womb saying, thank you, Jesus. God, I love you. God, I thank you so much. God, I know now that no. We didn't come out, and we came out. We grew up. We did what we wanted to do, whether we had things done to us in our lives or not. We still lived. We still continue to go on. We're alive now, which means that we've gotten beyond the fact of birth. We have sinned. We have drugged. We have smoked. We have cussed. We have lied. We have slept with somebody's partner. We have slept with one another. We have lied on people. We have gossiped about. What about that? When do we expect people to forgive us? See, we want people to, hey, family, it's been a minute. We expect people to, for some of you who can't see the questions that's coming from the people on my main page, my daughter, Crystal, asked, how do you forgive God for your past hurt? And I was trying to explain that there are so many things that we need to ask God for forgiveness because we've been sinning for a long time. And some of us, even in our salvation, still sinning. Some of us who still speak in tongues will prophesy and lay hands on people, and we still out here sinning. So how does God constantly forgive us for that? And when we have done wrong to somebody and we ask them to forgive us and they say yes, and then the next time we do something, they start reminding us of how we messed up before. If we're doing that amongst ourselves, how do we have room to ask God to say we need to forgive God? There's so much that we have done against God. So much. And the Bible says all have sinned. So you ain't stopped sinning because you're alive. You haven't stopped sinning yet because you're alive. So there are some hurts that we have endured, some because we put ourselves in situations and did not listen to God, did not listen to those who had ruled over us. We just wanted to do what we were big and bad enough to do because we felt like we had our own mind and we could do what we want to do. And so therefore, some of our hurt has come from us, ourselves, not God, us, things that we got ourselves into. Hey, Shay, things that we got ourselves into. There are those things that have happened to us, rape, molestation, things like that, that while God didn't do it, it couldn't happen if he didn't allow it to be. Why did he allow it to be? Because there's a greater purpose in your life. And because of the ministry that God has placed within you and upon you, you need to be able to say, I've been there and done that. A lot of people in today's society, especially our young people, they're not trying to hear it from somebody who never went through it. They really not trying to hear it. They were like, well, how you going to tell me? I don't want to hear Jesus could fix it because we already know that. We already been told that. But hey, Nisi Poo, but what you going to tell me about how I can get over this or how I can forgive that person who did that to me? Because while we are quick to overlook things that we have done, past things still hurt today. And I be feeling like God knew it was a lot for me to handle, but yet he loves me. Spiritual warfare is real. Yeah. Well, you just answered your question within your statement. You answered your question partially through your statement, indicating that some of your past hurts are still hurting you today. And in that, we want to be able to utilize all of the tools that are made available to us. Often I've told you to go seek somebody and talk to them. It works. I talk to somebody. My insurance covers somebody that talks to me and lets me vent and say everything that I've endured, to actually acknowledge and confront the emotions that are attached to those hurts. And so, God, you in that same statement, you said, I'd be feeling like God knew it was a lot for me to handle, but yet he loves me and he loves you enough. And he also knew that when he gave it to you, you were the one that could do it. There are some people that have gone through the things that you have endured, and they're not here to talk about it today. They lost their minds. They took their lives, but not you. You're still here. And though it might hurt sometime, the fact of the matter is you're still here. And you are now responsible for exemplifying Christ in the presence of your children, to show them that they don't have to endure what you've endured. There's a cycle to be broken. There's some things, and if you really investigated your family, you'll probably find out that you're not the first to go through it. But we have to decide we're going to be the chain breaker. We're going to be the one who breaks the cycle. We're going to be the one who says it stops here. Like I'm just not going to do it that way. I'm not going to deal with it like that. I'm not going to keep silent. I'm going to share, because somebody needs to know that this thing is still out there, is still hurting other people. Somebody needs to know that even though that's what happened to you, you don't have to become that thing. And so that's where I thrive off the most. I make sure that I tell people, yeah, this happened to me, but I'm not what happened to me. Does that make sense? Yeah, it happened, but that's not who I am. I'm somebody who got through that. So therefore, I'm no longer in that. And I'm able to walk somebody to and through it because I have endured it. I took the tears and I went through a lot of these things without the help of others because of the era in which I came in, where everything was either revival or Jesus was going to fix it or we're going to pray about it. But nobody said, hey, maybe you need to sit down and talk to somebody. Or nobody said, hey, let's sit down with this other person and find out why there was a need to do that. Or even, hey, I believe you. I believe. That was the thing for me. Somebody saying, I believe you. I believe that happened, rather than the era where we came up, where if the adult said it was not the truth, then they would believe the adult rather than you. And you would get punished for something that happened to you and not something that you did. And so to try to hold God captive to that, I'm not even trying to put myself in that situation. I believe that God had the ultimate purpose made out already for me. Therefore, he already, it's because the Bible says we were preordained, predestined, which means he already walked through our lives before we even got here. Thus meaning he knew it was coming. He knew how we would feel, but he also knew that we were strong enough to come out. And so I thank him, and it took years for me to get here. I thank him for trusting me enough to go through that. Trusting me enough not to curse him. Trusting me enough not to turn my back on him because of what I had been through. Now, did I feel like walking away? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Did I do it? Heck no. I just understood that, to kind of like turn your back on the one who created you, turn your back on the one who, if you just told a real testimony, blessed you financially when others were down, blessed you with food when nobody knew you were without, made a way for you, got jobs that we know we are not qualified for. There are so many things that he has done good for us that how dare we just focus on what hurt us or what, bothered us. And so I had to find myself in that, because I can't say that, in all honesty, I can't say that there was never a time when I was like, angry with God. Even when it came to losing my mom, like, hey, this was the epitome of faith here. This was the one who helped people when they didn't know how to help themselves. This was the one who was the great defender. Everything you found negative about somebody, she could find something positive. And so, this great woman of faith, Lord, why did she have to suffer? Why did she have to be in pain so long? Why did she have to go through this? Why did I have to watch my mother suffer through this? So there were a lot of emotions tied to losing my mom the way that we did. And so I never found myself saying, God, I hate you. Ooh. Sorry, y'all. Excuse me. Trying to give myself some air. And I'm not saying that that's what you're saying. What you're saying is, how do you forgive God for your past hurts? And we don't need to forgive God. We need to forgive the people who did it. And if you can forgive the people who did it, there's no question about whether or not God is forgiven, because, hello, he is our creator. He is our everything. And he just, God is something else. I just didn't always understand him. I didn't always understand this plan that he has for me. I didn't always get that the test was for my making. It was for my good. Let me look. I keep forgetting there's other people over here talking. LB says, foolish Galatians, to whomever may think that you are not supposed to go through. God makes no mistake, my love. There's nothing new under the sun. Most of our go through is to help someone else that we may or may have not met. Or there's a blessing in everything. It may not feel like it at the moment, but you'll see after a while. Basically saying the same thing I'm saying. Um, Wayne McDaniel Jr. says, "Yes, Lord, it doesn't define me. I know it's right. Yes, I did. That did happen to me. But I tell you today, that's not who I am. So if you're looking for that person who you saw in the go through, you're not going to find them. You're not going to find that person here, because I'm somebody totally different. And while I may look the same to you on the outside, you won't find out until you step to me personally. You'll understand the strength that came. Toya, you'll understand the strength that came from my go through. There are some things that I can't. I tell y'all, I'm always transparent. So I never make it seem like I just arrived here, like I woke up and this was how I was feeling. I'd be lying. That's not the truth. It took many years for me to get to where I am now. It took some growing up. It took some hurt. It took some disappointments. It took betrayal. It took abandonment issues to be resolved. There were some low self-esteem issues. Oh man, like I could just keep on naming different things that I've had to battle through to get to where I am now. And sometimes it may appear to people that um, I'm unapproachable, because some people have said to my bestie, like, "Oh my God, like I never, if I wouldn't have been here, I wouldn't have never known that there was a soft side to her, because she always looked so mean or so stern or so." And I'm like, that is what has been created by my go through. That face that says, if you come and come correct, or don't come at all. Don't be fooled by my size. Don't be fooled because I'm always loving, because I'm always forgiving, because I'm always there. I'm always coming through for people. There's a side of me that God has seen fit to lay dormant for a while. And we are grateful to God that He has seen fit to do so. And I know that if He could do it for me, He can do it for anybody. Um, I'm I am just not who people think I am. Sorry, y'all. My bestie at this John P. Key talking to me. Um, so yeah, daughter, I hope I answered you. I hope I answered you a little bit by what I am saying. Um, and so that's a topic that I'm gonna put out here at on another one of our weeks. But I'm gonna type the question she asked. Don't y'all come for my daughter. This is a real question. Um, this is her question. Let's see. I'm gonna put it on this side so you can see what she asked. Did I answer you at all? I hope I did. I'm a, this is the question that she asked, guys, and that's what I was answering. Um, that's what I was answering for her, um, because we have to get to a place, and I'm talking about the church right now. We have to get to a place where we allow others to know um, that it doesn't just happen. Like, there's a lot of people that won't come in church because of what they see in church. There's a lot of people that don't feel the need to come inside the church because they feel like we as Christians are doing the same thing they're doing. So if we're going to do what they're doing, what need is it for us for them to come to where we are. And so it's time for us to bring the church back to its rightful place. It's time for us to uh, take up a standard. We don't have to compromise to the point that you no longer know who you are. That's something that I did for a lot of years, and you guys have heard me talk about that in some of our past sessions. There were a lot of years that I wasn't myself. I was what everybody said I was going to be. I was trying to be that minister. I was trying to be that singer. I was trying to be that confidant. I was trying to be that preacher. I was trying to be that singer. I was trying to be that model, because different ones and different facets and times of my life was saying, oh, you should do this, or you would be good at that, and da 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 da. And because they said so, I found myself trying to do that, but I never stopped to ask myself, is it what I want? And I didn't ask myself that until I was after 30 something years old, because I didn't realize until then that I had been living through everybody else's desires for me and not my own. While I love singing and it is my passion, do I know that I would have gone this way if I had not been pushed and supported that way? Do I know that if my mom hadn't let me go to that, well, no, let me take that back. If my 8th grade teachers did not hear me sing in the chorus and say, hey, I think we got something, and they took me to see Leontine Price, at Carnegie Hall, and just different things that were done, and then to grow up and everybody's pushing you to sing, and then my mom signs me up for this arts program, Stars in Motion, something you do after school, and there I was singing again and acting and modeling, and then I was with God rest his soul, Reverend Peter Winstead, and we was doing Broadway, and all of these people doing things that people said, girl, you good, you got it, let's go, and I never stopped to say, am I doing this for me? And I think that's why I label myself as behind schedule right now, because when I finally did come to myself and say, oh my God, the one thing that I love, the one thing that brings me peace, the one thing that brings me comfort, the one thing that brings me back to myself is my music. And what is my music right now? It is my worship time with God. I listen to jazz. I listen to running waters, raindrops, like just musical things that bring me back to myself. Do you feel like when God shows you your talent, he shows somebody else too? That's what I was saying right now, cousin. I think that like I said, it took me till I was well in my 30s, I want to say. Because like people like Uncle Jim and would tell me, um, would build up on my dramatic skills, on my skills of the arts. Him and Uncle Leonard was good at that. My teachers, would hear me sing in the chorus, or have me do a lead, or they would have visited the church and saw that I sang. And so I was pushed and I was promoted from 8th grade up until high school, till I went to Arts High. And then that teacher came and talked to my mom, personally, and had dinner with her and said, this is what she should be doing. And so I just started following those things. And so to answer your question, I would say, yeah, they saw in me what I didn't see in myself, which is, I have to laugh, because even now, being in ministry, we find ourselves telling people, hey, this is what I see in you. This is what I believe God has for your life. And so as it was in the natural, I find that it is now happening through me and others in the spirit. my bestie and I, we would sit down and we'll talk, and you'd be like, oh man, I was noticing so and so, and or she would say, I noticed so and so like to do this, and they're very good at it. And it's not to say that everything has to have a ministry title, but how about the ministry of helps? You just like to do, you just like to be a part of. There are some things that happen in this arena we call church, in this thing we call church. And we see people, and we have to be careful, because I'll say one thing that happens a lot. You can go to a prophetic house of worship, and the spirit is high, and of course prophecy is going forth, and someone who's never prophesied before could give a prophetic word. How? Because they've walked into a prophetic house, and when the spirit of the Lord is heavy upon them, it allows anything. A child could speak at that point. And so do I believe that? Yeah, I believe that people see your talent, they nurture that talent, they invest in that talent, and therefore a product that comes out of that. Now, what I want to say behind that is they nurture it and they invest in it, but ultimately, the person, doctor, ultimately, the person who gets that glory and gets that credit is God, because God still allowed that person to see it in you. And so we just have to be careful with it. Some of us get arrogant. Some of us become untouchable, so to speak. And so we just have to be mindful. And I use prophecy as an example of giving somebody something that they shouldn't have, is because that's the prevalent thing right now. Everybody, we're at that stage where the itching ears, and everybody is looking for that word, and everybody's looking for somebody to tell them they're going to get this and they're going to get that. Nobody's listening for you to say, you need to get your soul right. You need to get your heart right. You need to get your mind right. You need to forgive. Because I keep telling y'all, if you don't have no forgiveness, you're going to hell. I don't care what title you hold. If you don't have forgiveness, you're going to hell. So we find ourselves in church. You're in this prophetic house. The Spirit of God is just falling. I mean, the glory is resting in the house. Prophecy is just going forth. And someone you've never heard before comes and gives a word. And already, here we go. The Lord said you're going to be a prophet. The Lord ain't say nothing. Stop. What happened was God used that person at the time, and it was able to be received because this person is not known for that. This person would not have otherwise said that. And so we have to be careful about gifts versus office. And so I'm going to leave that alone right there. But going back to you, cousin, do you feel like when God shows you your talent, he shows somebody else too? I do. And sometimes it's positive and sometimes it's negative. What do I mean? I'm glad you asked. When I say sometimes positive and sometimes negative, because most times people see your worth before you do. Most times people see your worth before you do. And if you get a good person, if you get a God person, or if you get a person who just does not mind encouraging others, you will find a person that will invest and push you with no ulterior motives. Then you have those who know your worth and know that you don't know it, and they abuse it. And so there's a positive and there's a negative to that, as it is to most scenarios in life. You find somebody. I'm trying not to name names because I've been, like I said, most things that I talk about, I've already endured. And I want people to understand that life got a lot of stuff in it. And man, I'm telling you, it's some stuff that can happen that hurts. And yeah, cousin, for real. Like real talk. Like there's some people who, only keep you in their circle because they know your worth. They know that you're a part of why they are where they are. You're a part of um what's going on for the positive for them, and so they keep you around. And it becomes hurtful when God finally allows you to know that. It's very hurtful, and for some they would classify it as painful. And so I don't want to talk about too many things relating to pain, because like I said, we're going to be doing Addicted to the Pain. We were supposed to do it tonight, like I said, but my bestie's husband won some free tickets to see John P. Key, so that's where they are. And so I don't want to try to tackle her topic of choice before without her being here to have something to say. But I just, it's a shame that you can't. It's a shame that you can't count on your circle. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. Most people, sit back and as I can see myself when I was about 15 to 18, there was a set group of people in the church that I really like. Oh man, I wish I could just hang out with them. I wish I could do this. And I would go out my way trying to do things to make them notice me, make them love me, make them want me to be a part of what they were doing. And so it was said to me by one or two of them in that group at different times, well, you can't do that with us, because if you're not saved, you can't hang with us. That thing devastated my whole life, because I really looked up to them, and I just wanted to be in their company because I felt like it was something that I could learn. It was something that I could benefit. It would keep me in the church, like it would keep my interest, because I knew that after this we were going to do that, or once we did this we was going to do that. And so I felt that, and that's why it took me so long. I don't know if anybody else has that testimony, but that's why it took me so long to truly, when I say truly be saved, because you couldn't tell me I wasn't saved from the time I was 9. I don't care how many revivals we had, and I went back up to the altar and asked him to revive me and save me again. You couldn't make me believe that I wasn't saved for real. And it turns out that the reason why I felt the need to get saved over and over again was because I never did it for me. It was never based on me and God's relationship. It was based on me and somebody's relationship, what they felt I should do, what I needed to do to be with them. So I got saved to keep them satisfied, and I forgot that God needed to be satisfied. And so it took me a long time. And so those same people would be like, oh girl, you can sing, I just love for you to sing. Oh, can't nobody do it like you. And so they soup you up, and they make you feel like you're a little something, and then when you don't do things that they would want you to do with the talent they feel that you have, then it goes another way. But so there's so many takes on that, cousin. I hope I've answered you, because there's not one set answer, because people who it goes even back in the Bible. The folks got mad because the lady who was doing sorcery got saved, got healed. Who? Pinky, the lady that was because I know stories, and I be always, huh? Yeah, when Paul and Silas healed her, but the name of the people that got mad, wasn't it the set people, the fortune teller? Yeah, her master, right? Because I want to make sure, I never want to tell y'all the wrong thing. So the lady, Paul and Silas healed the lady that was telling everybody's fortune and doing all of this, psychic stuff. And they got mad because she got healed. Well, like today, liken unto today, there are some people who will tell you you are anointed, will tell you you are gifted, will tell you you got talent, and they will build you up and they will soup you up as long as you're doing what they feel you should be doing with it. But once you get your own idea of what you would like to do with it, then you don't have talent anymore. You thinking you're doing too much. I don't know who told you. Let's just tell the truth. I'm talking about life. I ain't talking about what people want me to say tonight. I'm talking about what's real. Somebody seen it in me before I even knew it. I could be anything other than who I was. I'm telling you, for real. It's so crazy. I got people talking to me about your topic, Shaton, on both pages. I've been through that. Once they tell you how anointed and beautiful you are when it comes down to your gift, and then you don't meet their expectations, they turn on you quick. It hurts very bad. Real talk. Real talk. Shaton, I'm sure there have been people, though, that you've even noticed got gifts or got talents. And some of them you told, and some of them you was like, I ain't going to say nothing to them because they going to say, like, who you think you are. But I know that you have a see, and I do know that you can see things. I know that you can spot talent. So that's never been a doubt of mine. Just waiting for you to catch up. But that was a good question. That was a good question. That was a good question. God does use people, though. And so I can't say that he doesn't. I wouldn't even be able to say that in truth, that God doesn't allow people to see something in you probably before you do. It does. Just not everybody is honest with the intent behind it. And so you live a little, you hurt a little, and you grow a little. Yeah. It's there's not one of us that does not have a talent, as you're calling it. I call it a gift or some type of anointing when it comes to things like that. Not any of us. Ma Rosa prayed over us too long for that, and she looked out for us when nobody else would. And when I tell you there wasn't a funeral home in Jersey that didn't know I sang, because surely she would call me like she ain't know I was going to school or like I was working and say, I got a funeral and I need you to sing. And who tells Aunt Rosa no? Nobody. So that was somebody who really invested in me, and I lost a lot when I lost her. She used to just call me and sing my name. She made a whole song up for me, and she encouraged me and she pushed me. She pushed me when nobody else was. And so I've often talked about how I miss that sincere, that genuine push, who just wants to see you happy at what you do. But yeah, there are people. Long story short, there are people. Unfortunately, they're not all good intended. So we have we talked about what my daughter asked. What would you say to somebody, Pinky, Assistant Pastor the King? What would you say to somebody who said, how do you forgive God for your past hurts? Look how your eyes got big. Yeah. That was a real question. How do you forgive God for your past hurts? I said some stuff, but I want to see if you're going to say that. Stumped you, huh? That's what I said. God is the forgiver. And we have to consider all of the things that we did against him. What do you say for those of us who still don't know what our gift is? Continue to seek God. continue to seek God. I'll tell people that in a minute. And believe it or not, he does answer. He doesn't speak to all of us in the same way. It's not like he just comes down with this great boom and says, this is your, no. It's nothing creepy like that. Sometimes he uses individuals to come and confirm something. You might have say if you thought that writing was your gift, or your talent, so to speak, and then you happen to be in an arena or in a social setting, and somebody just walked up to you and y'all have a conversation, they be like, oh, you know what, you should write a book, or that's good talk, you ever consider writing, stuff like that. um Whatever. It happens in different ways, like I said. I'm sure now that I look back over my life that God probably was the one using my teachers. But again, it wasn't until I was like 30 something and I was like, wow, like, was I doing that for them or was I doing it for me? And it went full circle because I found out that that is that thing for me. I can sing my way through anything. I can be in the roughest of place. I can have the worst kind of day and I can find a song. Or I can make a song out of a scripture that I find and make it my melody for the time. I learned that for every season of my go through, there was a different song that was attached to it. So there were different things that started to happen that made me to see that was one of the many gifts and talents that God has blessed me with, and that is the gift of song. I can sing until I feel better. I sing song to those who I feel need encouraging. Even in church, I don't just sing just to be singing. Like, I sing, even if it means I got to keep singing the same song. I sing what God leads me to sing for the moment, because I always ask him to allow me to feel the hearts of the people that are there. Carolyn Small says, I have a book called Seeking God for Your God-Given Gift. Seeking God for Your God-Given Gift. Where can they find this book? Seeking God. I'm going to write what she's saying over here. Where can they purchase this book that you're referring to? Seeking God for Your God-Given Gift is the book that she says she has out. Shaton, I'm trying to see where we can find this book. Seeking God for Your God-Given Gift. Seeking God for Your God-Given Gift. You got it from a book club years ago. Who's the author? Who's the author? Seeking God for Your God-Given Gift. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Ooh. Seeking God for Your God-Given gift. What are you saying, Shatoy? Just a shout out to you. Every person who graduated. I'm going to see if I can find it on Amazon better. She forgot who wrote the book. Seeking God for you. I'm coming back to, I see what you just posted, Torn. I'm coming. Seeking God for your God given gift. It's not on Amazon. Maybe you can find out who the author is for that book. Excuse me, and let us know, even if it's not tonight. If you could let us know. Okay, Shaton says just a shout out to you. Every person who graduated the police academy with me can sing the song. I decided a long time ago that I was going to follow the Lord. I got caught singing it and had to make sure every person could sing it on demand. The instructors loved the song. Kudos to you. About 250 can sing it on demand. Oh, thank you, cousin. Aww. Yeah, I'm telling you, songs will get you through when nothing else will. For some of us, I got a nephew that he sings now, but he started out killing us with the drums. He had a drum beat. You made him mad, he was beating the drums. You made him happy, he was beating the drums. Now it's the keyboard and worship. I'm telling you, you'll find what gift and talent God has given you to fulfill your purpose. To fulfill your purpose, because it's going to draw people that others wouldn't. There's some people that will come hear me sing, but don't necessarily, like if I say, come, I got to sing a song. I'm going to this church service. I got to sing a song. They'll come and follow me to sing, but they won't stay for the word. They'll come sing me dance. They won't stay for the word. I truly have people that will come to a service because they know I'm going to be praise dancing, or they know I'm going to sing. And when it's time for the word, they out. And when I ask them that, normally the normal response is usually that they've been hurt by people who just use the word against them, or use the word to beat them up, or use the word to make them feel bad. And so, or the preacher where they were, like, their trust in preachers has been diminished because a particular preacher that they looked up to, pushed, supported, something that they did that threw them off, turned them off, hurt their feelings, or whatever. And now they'll come to a musical, they'll come to a dance service, but if they got to listen to somebody preach. And so I've learned that I have to be particular in what I dance to, what I sing, because sometimes you really are the only Bible that people are going to see. You're the only preacher that different ones are going to hear, whether it be through your lifestyle, or whether it be through your singing, whether it be through your craft or your art. There are some people that are blessed and broken by your ministry gift, whether it be dancing, singing. There have been many times that in my latter former years of dance, I could be dancing to a song and I'll go into the audience and I would, minister to somebody. God gives you who to minister to. I ain't just pick somebody because they were sitting there. No, God impressed upon me, go to this person, and in your mind, you're kind of like already trying to remember the dance, but now you going at it with God, because like, God, what if they don't receive me? All of these things are going through your mind while you're trying to, minister, even going to them and then seeing that it's pricking their heart. That's a word. That's the word that they don't even realize that they're hearing, because we're dancing to the word. We're dancing to gospel. We're dancing to lyrics that prick the heart and prick the mind. And so they just, I'm good. Like, miss me with it. I'll come hear you sing. I'll come watch you dance. But after that, I'm out. They'll even give a love gift, but they out, and so that's something that we all need to consider in whatever gift or talent that we have. It ought to be something, especially if we're saved, it ought to be something that's going to draw folks closer to Christ. Because if they come follow you long enough, eventually, I'm a firm believer that it breaks and they eventually give in. They just have to find that place where it looks like it can be called home. And so I don't give up on people when they tell me that. I just keep on inviting them, because eventually the spirit going to fall so hard that they're not going to be able to resist. And so we move ourselves out of the way and allow God to do it. Don't push. Don't push. I had to learn that, not to keep asking. With one of my coworkers, most recent, I just said, well, hey, I'm just telling you that, I would love for you to come with me. We're a free church. You don't have to always be in a dress. You could come as you are. Da, 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 da. And I just want you to let me know when you want to come to church. I'm not going to ask you anymore. I'm just telling you now that I would love for you to come with me. But I'm not going to ask anymore. When you're ready, you'll let me know. And it happened. And then it happened again. And then it happened again. And now they're a member. And so you have to be careful how we live in front of people, how we respond to situations. I'm just prayerful that leadership, I can talk about where I am, prayerful that leadership will get back to a place where they are respected. And that's going to require some work, and it's going to require consistency. It's going to require a healthy lifestyle. It's going to require a healthy prayer life. It's going to require a drastic turn from the way and the ways that we do things in front of others when we call ourselves God's ambassador or God's representative. And so I'm not going to stay on long tonight. I'm going to get off here. I think I have talked enough. I want to invite you all to come with us. Come join us next week. We're going to talk about addicted to the pain. Addicted to the pain. And my bestie will be with me. God save the same. And she will do most of the talking. I will introduce. I will recap this week or next week. And then I will let her go in. And if she asks us to have something to say, we will. If somebody asks a question that I feel I can answer, we will. Again, let me let you know that we don't claim to know it all. We don't try to know it all. We give you the wisdom that God gives us and our life experiences. We don't give you scriptures every hour, every 15 minutes on the hour, but we can provide scripture. We want you to understand that we're not shoving God down your throat, but we are God's ambassadors, and you just can't get away from prayer just like that. And we want you to know that this is a safe place, and we don't have you come on here and expose yourself so that people can look down on you. We want us to help one another, network with one another, share with one another. Somebody needs to know that they can make it out. Somebody needs to know that even though this is where I am, I don't have to stay here. Somebody needs to know that It's going to be all right. It hurt for a little while. And yes, that did happen to me, but I'm not what happened to me. Yes, that did. They did do that to me, but I'm not what that was. I'm over that. I'm past that. I'm through that. And I'm moving on to my next. And so, yeah, cousin, I'm telling you, when she asked me, could she talk about it, I was like, who am I to say no? So I'm looking forward to it. We were going to try to do it tomorrow night, but she has to preach out Friday night. And I don't think, So we're going to do it next week. We're going to talk about being addicted to the pain. And you'll be surprised to know that you might be one of them. And so we are going to learn how to free ourselves from this addiction. Not every addiction is a drug. It just has the same effects. So I'm going to bid you good night because, like I said, I came in straight from work and I am tired and I have not eaten. So I need to take care of that situation. And so we're going to sign off for tonight. Next week, we're going to come back with that top the author. Let me see if I can get to the page without losing y'all. She sent me the name of the author of the book. Let's see. Discover Your God-Given Gifts by Don and Discover Your God-Given. I'm giving y'all the name of this book. Cousin, I meant to tell you, I saw that you purchased some tickets. Thank you. I'm looking forward to celebrating my birthday with you guys. Discover. Give y'all the name of this book. Discover Your God Given Gifts by Don and Katie Fortune. This is who wrote the book that was mentioned. I'm excited about my birthday too. I really am. I'm excited. For those of you who purchased your tickets already at that $50 price, thank you so much. The colors are black, white, and pink. It's a ball, black, white, and pink. You can wear black. You can wear black and white. You can wear black, white, and pink. You can wear pink and white. Those are the colors of the evening for my 60th birthday celebration at the Galloping Hill Inn. January 29th. So join us. And join us again on next week. I'm glad she was able to get us that author before we signed off. So if you have some question, I haven't read the book, so I'm not telling you that this is something I'm suggesting for y'all. I'm probably gonna go look for it too. So we might have something to talk about. It might be something in here I like. But this is a book that Sister Smalls has read, and she felt like it was helpful, and so she's sharing it with us. Discover Your God-Given Gifts by Don and Katie Fortune. I cannot say that I've known those authors, but it's suggested to us, so I'm assuming that means it's a good read. So we will let you know on next week if we were able to come across it on. Let me know if you get it, what you think about it. And so continue to keep us in your prayers. Like I said, this new night job is doing a number on me. I'm not supposed to work, but I feel I need to right now. And so you guys pray for us. One more day. Amen. As we continue to live our life as God is allowing us. Thank you for meeting us here every week. We appreciate you as usual, all the pastors and those who come on and share and network with us, and you're not afraid to let people know what you're thinking. Thank you. That does not go unnoticed, and it is not being taken for granted, but it is very much and well appreciated. Thank you for loving on us. Meet you here next week. 9:30, not 9:15, because I don't get off till 9:15. 9:30 next Wednesday. The topic, addicted to the pain. the lead speaker on that will be Apostle L.C. Wyatt. So we love you. Be sweet. Enjoy the rest of your week. We love you.